Hi everyone. So ever since I posted that video of the chaconne being played at 40 for the 8th note, I've been getting questions on whether I actually practice that slowly myself or if I just tell my students to do that. And the answer is that yes, I do actually practice that slowly myself, even after so many years of experience playing. That slow practicing is not just for beginners or students or people who are learning the guitar. It's for everyone. And you'd be surprised that actually most professionals practice that slowly, and the fastest players that you could think of, most likely they practice the slowest the most, because that slow practicing, it sort of zooms in into everything that you are doing, and you're eliminating any kind of unnecessary inefficient movements that you wouldn't really be able to catch if you're playing fast. So playing slowly allows you to play faster and accurately. Now, when I tell students to practice slowly and when I actually demonstrate how slow that slow actually is, the reaction I get is usually like a scared look. Usually they're like, oh my God, that's so slow. I don't have the patience for it. That's so boring, etc. If you're doing it right, it's not actually boring because it's not like you're going to be playing a note and then just like waiting there, bored out of your mind until you get to play the next note. But the way you're supposed to do it is while you're playing that note and while you have that, let's say 40 on a metronome or whatever, time until the next beat, you're not waiting. You're supposed to be listening to what came out of your instrument and evaluating it. Was that a pretty sound? Was that a clean sound? Was there any buzzing? Is your finger comfortably positioned there, or did you kind of desperately land on it, but it wasn't as secure? And you need to be planning what you're going to be playing next. So you're not just sitting there bored waiting. You're supposed to be actively thinking of all those things. And you'd be surprised that when you're actually doing it, how much more concentration it takes and how much faster time actually passes by. You would work on, let's say, half a page of music and 20 minutes could go by because you're playing it so slowly and your mind is actively working. So I like to show, I'm going to put the metronome on 45, so it's like a little bit faster than the previous recording. And I'll obviously talk and play and then try to demonstrate. So as I'm playing, let's say I play a note, this is measure 141. As I play one note, I'll be thinking about the next note, and that belongs to two hands, right? Like the left hand is usually what we think about because it's more obvious, but the right hand has to also prepare where it's going to play. So when I'm playing this, I know the next two notes are going to be played with PI, right? So my index finger is already ready to pluck. I personally don't plant when I play because I don't want to cut off notes, but I'm prepared for the next note. So I'm in a position right above the string or by the string that I'm going to be plucking with the finger that I'm going to be plucking. So I'm not just randomly waiting. I'm in the prepared position. And same thing goes with the left hand, which is more obvious. I'll be hovering over the next note. Then the next note is an E. So, and you can see from my right hand, my M finger is going to be the one playing the E. So that's already prepared. And my index finger is ready to play. I just can't plant because technically that F sharp is ringing. So I can't touch that string. I'll cut the sound. That's why I have to be prepared in the air, but not necessarily touch the string as I'm playing. So that was a hesitation. When I played this, I wasn't so sure and I ended up touching the strings a little ahead of time. I'll be preparing for these two. So see, my pinky and my second finger are prepared for the next chord, and then I'm going to switch. You could hear the note, but I landed on my pinky sort of in a desperate way, and it's kind of flat. If I was doing it right, I would play this, and I would prepare my finger better to be a little bit rounder. So here. notes. If I was having a lot of trouble with it, I would actually change and play those as single notes, maybe speed up a little bit, but play these like extremely slow, or I could keep it to 2 notes. It really depends on how comfortable something is. Generally, I would go through the whole piece and keep the correct rhythm and just play it at that value, right? So if it's 8th note equals 40, that means that if I'm hitting 16th notes, I'm going to be playing 2 notes per beat. If I'm getting to 32nd notes, I'll be playing 4 notes per beat. That's just kind of to get the idea and the ratio correctly. If I'm getting to, let's say a 32nd note section, technically it's 4 notes per beat for me, right? But if I'm having trouble, I will slow that down too and build it back up so that I can be secure in what I'm playing. But as I'm playing, I'm trying to listen really carefully, and if there is dissonances, like just to listen to see how those strings settle into that interval. If there are chords, if there are triads, like how does the harmony settle? Because it can actually be really beautiful just to like listen to those frequencies coming out of your guitar. And when you're playing it fast, you don't really get to notice them. It's pretty, sure, but you don't really need to get to sit in it and really listen to how your instrument and all the overtones and everything interact with each other. When you get to hear it, then after you've worked on all the technical aspects, because we're doing it slowly to really work on the technique of it, but when you're playing it at a normal pace, you appreciate more and you can really recognize how you might want to phrase something, because when you did it that slowly, let's say you heard something that you wouldn't have heard at a fast tempo. So maybe your phrasing or your musicality will kind of dictate to play that particular thing a little differently to bring out what you heard when you're playing it really slowly. So it really is like zooming into a picture and looking at all of the pixels more up close versus just like maybe not even noticing things because you're looking at it from afar, playing it fast. So it's not that you're only going to practice slowly. Obviously, you have to also practice fast to be able to play it fast, but don't be scared to play it slowly. It's way better to, let's say, spend 20 minutes and play a 4-minute piece twice than to play, it 5 times a tempo. And then walk away with not much having improved. But I guarantee that if you play it once, half the tempo, you will notice so much more. And you'll be, first of all, you'll just notice all the things that you're not certain about and are sloppy about, but also you'll walk away with actually having learned something. So I hope that was somewhat helpful explanation of practicing slow and why someone would do it. And I'm gonna go back to practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.